Ask any child what they want most from their parents, and they will not say a bigger house. They will not say more vacations, better toys, or a faster car. Study after study in country after country, across every income level and every culture, children say the same thing. They want you, not the version of you that is busy, distracted, and running on empty. The real you, present, unhurried, and genuinely interested in who they are becoming. And yet, most parents have never actually given them that. Not because they don't want to, but because nobody ever told them exactly what it looks like in practice. Today, that changes. These are 5 things children love with their whole hearts, things they will remember for the rest of their lives, that most parents rarely do. Some of them will feel small. Some of them will feel obvious. But if you pay close attention, at least one of them will stop you cold. Because you will recognize the exact moment this week when you had the chance and didn't take it. Stay with me. This matters more than you think. The first thing kids love, and almost never get enough of, is undivided, guilt-free attention. Not the kind where you sit next to them while answering emails. Not the kind where you look up from your phone every 30 seconds and say, while they describe something incredibly important to them. Real attention. The kind where they can feel in their bones that you are fully there. Children are extraordinarily sensitive to the quality of your presence. They can feel it when your body is in the room, but your mind is somewhere else entirely. And over time, when they sense that divide repeatedly, they stop telling you things. Not all at once. Gradually, they learn, without ever deciding to learn, that their stories, their thoughts, their little discoveries are not worth interrupting whatever you are doing. Here is what researchers who study childhood development have found again and again. It is not the amount of time you spend with your child that shapes their emotional security the most. It is the quality of that time. 15 minutes of absolute undistracted presence, where you are genuinely curious about what they are saying, where your eyes are on them and not on a screen, where you are laughing at their jokes and asking real follow-up questions, is worth more than an entire afternoon of parallel scrolling on the couch. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Put the phone in another room, get on the floor. Ask a question you actually want to know the answer to. And then, this is the part most parents forget. Wait. Let the silence breathe. Children don't always respond instantly. They test the waters. They want to know if you'll still be there if they take a moment to gather their thoughts. Be there, every single time. That is what builds trust. The second thing kids love, and this one will challenge you, is being taken seriously. Not talked down to, not managed, not redirected. Taken seriously, the way you would want to be taken seriously. Think about the last time a child came to you with a problem that, to you, seemed small. Maybe they were devastated because a friend didn't invite them to a birthday party. Maybe they were furious because their drawing didn't come out the way they imagined it. Maybe they were heartbroken over a stuffed animal that went missing. And in that moment, what did you do? Did you say something like, "Oh, it's okay, it's not a big deal"? Did you immediately jump to solutions? Did you try to explain to them why they shouldn't feel the way they feel? That instinct to minimize, to fix, to rationalize comes from love. But here is what the child hears. Your feelings are wrong. What matters to you does not matter to me. You are too small to understand your own emotions. Children who are consistently not taken seriously grow into adults who do not know how to advocate for themselves. They learn to suppress their feelings. They stop sharing them. And the relationship between parent and child quietly hollows out from the inside. What taking a child seriously looks like in practice is this. You stop. You look at them. You say, "That sounds really hard. Tell me more." And then you mean it. You don't offer advice until they've been fully heard. You reflect back what they said. You validate the emotion before you address the situation. Not because their problem is objectively enormous, but because to them it is real, and you are the person they chose to bring it to. That choice deserves to be honored. The third thing kids absolutely love, and science backs this up completely, is play that is led by them, not organized activities, not educational games chosen by adults, not supervised recreation with rules and timeline. Play that is messy, purposeless, ridiculous, and entirely directed by the child's imagination. Modern childhood is overscheduled. Children move from school to tutoring, to sports, to music lessons, to homework with barely a breath in between. And in the rare moments of free time, screens fill the gaps. What is vanishing at an alarming rate is the kind of unstructured play that has been the engine of healthy child development for thousands of years. When you sit down on the floor and ask your child to show you how to play their game, their made-up, nonsensical, wild, elaborate game, and you actually follow their rules without questioning them, without optimizing them, without suggesting a better way to do it, something shifts. They light up, not just because play is fun, but because suddenly, in this one sacred space, they are the expert. They are the authority. They are the one who knows how things work. In a world where adults constantly tell children what to do, what to eat, when to sleep, how to behave, this is extraordinary. Let them win. Let them change the rules halfway through. Let them assign you a ridiculous character and commit to that character completely. Because while you are playing a dragon or a spaceship captain or a talking tree, your child is learning creativity, negotiation, leadership, and storytelling. And more than any of that, they are learning that you think they are worth playing with, that their world is worth entering. The fourth thing kids love more than most parents realize is hearing stories about you. Real ones, embarrassing ones, stories about when you failed, when you were scared, when you made a mistake and didn't know what to do. There is a powerful tendency among parents to present themselves as competent, resolved, and certain. The goal, consciously or not, is to be a stable, reassuring presence. And stability matters. Don't misunderstand. But there is a version of stability that tips into inaccessibility, a version of competence that starts to feel, to a child, like perfection. And perfection is isolating. You cannot connect with someone who seems to have never struggled. When you tell your child about a time you were bullied in school and didn't know how to handle it, something opens up between you. When you describe the moment you completely bombed a job interview and cried on the bus ride home, they see you. Not as a parent, as a person who is human, who has failed, who has been afraid, and who somehow made it through. That is not weakness. That is the most powerful thing you can model. Children who hear these stories regularly develop something researchers call narrative resilience. They understand, in a deep and embodied way, that difficulty is not permanent, that failure is not identity, and that the people they love most have walked through hard things. When their own hard things arrive, and they will, they are not alone with them. They have a map. You gave them one, story by story, around the dinner table, before bed, on long car rides, in the middle of ordinary Tuesday afternoons. The fifth thing, and perhaps the most quietly radical of all, is being forgiven, not tolerated, not reminded again next week about what they did wrong. Actually forgiven, completely, the way you would want to be forgiven. Children make mistakes constantly. They lie sometimes. They break things. They say cruel words they don't fully mean. They disobey. They disappoint. And the way most families handle this is through consequences, which are important and necessary, followed by a lingering emotional residue that can last days. A coolness, a slight withdrawal, an unspoken message that trust has been damaged and must be slowly earned back. Children feel this acutely, and the cumulative weight of it, of feeling like they are always slightly in trouble, always recovering from the last mistake, never fully restored to grace, is heavy. It does not teach them accountability. It teaches them shame, and shame, unlike guilt, does not motivate better behavior. It motivates hiding. True forgiveness, the kind kids are desperate for, sounds like this. We talked about what happened. You understand why it was wrong. And now it's done. We're okay. I love you exactly the same as before. And then, this is critical. You actually mean it. You don't bring it up again at dinner 3 days later. You don't reference it the next time they make a different mistake. You release it fully. Because the goal was never to punish. The goal was always connection. Here is what these 5 things have in common. They are not expensive. They do not require a particular lifestyle or a particular income or a particular amount of free time. They require something harder and more precious than any of those things. They require presence. They require the willingness to be seen by your child as a full human being and to see them, in return, as one. The version of parenting that most of us inherited was shaped by practicality. Keep them safe. Keep them fed. Keep them on track. And those things matter enormously. But children do not look back on childhood and remember the packed lunches. They remember the Saturday morning when you sat with them and let them teach you the rules of a game that made no sense. They remember the night you told them about the biggest mistake you ever made. They remember the time they did something terrible and you looked them in the eyes and said, without hesitation, "We are okay." Those moments do not take long. They do not require a special occasion. They happen in the margins of ordinary life, in the spaces between everything else you are doing. And they accumulate, quietly and powerfully, into the foundation of who your child believes they are, and whether they believe they are worth being truly known. You have more power than you realize. Not the power to control outcomes, but the power to shape how a child understands themselves and the world. That power lives in the small things, the 5 things we talked about today. Start with 1. Pick the one that resonated most. Pick the one where you felt a small, uncomfortable recognition. The one that made you think of a specific child, a specific moment, a specific missed opportunity. Start there, today. Not perfectly, not completely. Just start. Because the children in your life are not waiting for you to be a perfect parent. They are waiting for you to be a real one.